Hey guys, it's Anthony with AJK Beauty back with another video. Today I'm actually going to be doing something different. I'm doing an Empties review video for June 2019. I haven't done one of these before, but someone in the comments suggested that I do an Empties review just to go over some of the products that I worked through in the past month, and I think it's actually a really great way just to kind of quickly go through some products that I either hadn't done full reviews for or decided not to, or for whatever reason they didn't end up on Instagram or on my blog or on a video. So I think this is really awesome. There are some products, or I guess it's something I'm excited about. There are some products that I have already covered in previous videos, so I'm going to kind of just gloss over those and really quickly touch on them, and then focus more on the ones that that I haven't gotten to yet. A couple of these I was intending on doing like full separate reviews for, but I kind of think I'm going to prefer this format just to kind of quickly go through multiple products at one time. So let me know what you guys think. I'm still going to do like the battle of if we have a lot of like trending products coming out or products that have a lot of hype around them, but this is a good way just to, I think, just to get through a good portion of what products I'm using each month. So keep in mind, these aren't all products that I used within a month. Some of these products I started in April and May. One of these products I actually started using back in like late January, so it's been in my routine forever. Let's go ahead and get started. There's quite a few to get through. We'll just kind of start at this end and kind of work our way over. The first product that I wanted to cover is the Kate Somerville Uncomplicated SPF 50 setting spray. So this is a actual spray sunscreen that is supposed to also act as a setting spray for makeup. And I actually haven't been using my BB cushion or makeup products in a while, but I did use this while using makeup and without using makeup. And compared to some of the other makeup setting sprays that are also sunscreen, this one actually did a pretty decent job. I used the Supergoop, I think it's like Defense Refresh Mist, I think that's what it's called. And it was a pump application. The bottle, the actual like cap itself kept getting clogged. It was a really uneven application. It smelled awful, and I just was not a fan of it. I used that earlier this spring. But the Kate Somerville product's actually kind of like an aerosol can spray. I'll do a little bit. It's empty, obviously, but there's a little something in there left. But yeah, so it's like a aerosol type spray. You don't want to spray this necessarily in like a small confined space because the mist just goes everywhere and it creates kind of a fog. It does have, sunscreen products, preservatives. It's got a fragrance that actually for me smelled a little bit like bug spray, but compared to the Supergoop product, I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't that bad. And I use this usually, I was using it when I was wearing makeup and then driving quite a bit, or if I was outside during the day. So I was always using it outdoors, so there's plenty of ventilation. And then when I wasn't wearing makeup, I still brought this with me on hikes. And I just did one camping trip so far, or with this product, and just an overnight. And it works really, really well just as a spray on sunscreen. Regardless of the makeup setting effect. Over makeup, I felt like it did leave my skin with kind of like that soft finish, a little bit of a shine, but a little bit kind of matte too. It's like right in the middle of the road. Some people say that they found it to leave their skin feeling really greasy, and I could totally see that if you had a really oily skin, but for me, it had a decent result. It's better than other makeup setting SPF sprays that I've used in the past, and it lasted for a decent amount of time. Like I said, I don't wear makeup anymore, so I'm kind of leaning more towards the cream style SPF products, so I haven't really had the need to repurchase this. So yeah, this is just one that's gonna move. It's done out of my routine and I'm ready to move on to something else. But if you're looking for SPF 50 in a setting spray over makeup, that's not gonna really disturb your makeup, it's a decent option. So yeah, there's that. I guess I'll just set these over here maybe, yeah. Okay, so moving on, I'll jump to up here. So this is a product that I actually got as a gift from my cousin for Christmas. Shout out to Christina. Hi. This is the My Konjac Sponge. and this is the bamboo charcoal version. So these cognac sponges are obviously really, really popular. Oh, it looks so sad. It's been sitting in my closet for a while, and it looks so sad. But they're really popular for providing like a mild exfoliation during your water-based cleansing step, just to kind of slough off excess dead skin, remove excess oils, those types of things. I actually started using this when I was on vacation in Turkey. Maybe I'll get a full close-up of it. These can be found on Amazon. I think they're found on Yes Style, a bunch of other sites. So I used this when I traveled to Turkey and opened it for the first time when I was there. And obviously the weather there is quite a bit more humid than it is here in super dry Colorado. And so the first few times I used it, I didn't mind because I put it away. It would still have some of that bounce left to it, that squishiness from the sponge, because there was just some natural moisture in the air. I don't know how great that is for the sanitation piece of it, but it just maintained some bounciness. I would just hang it on the shower. So I used it, flew it back with me back to the US here to Colorado, started using it in the shower here, and I noticed when, I'd leave it in the shower hanging up so it wasn't like laying on anything. I'd come back the next morning or the next evening for my shower again, and it would be like this, just completely dry, hard as a rock sponge. Ooh, wow. Yeah, so, and then once that happens to this sponge, when it's completely dried out, it takes quite a while of putting it under the shower or under water to get it to kind of poof up again and be its full size, because it'll be like at least double if not triple this size once it's all full of water. So that took a couple minutes. It's a dry sponge. The water would just run off the sides until it finally started absorbing, and then you're kind of squishing it and trying to get that water all the way through. So it added like a good 3 to 5 minutes per shower of just the water running before I could actually put some water-based cleanser on there and cleanse my skin. So it just seemed kind of a waste to me. It seems like a little bit of a sanitation issue with these types of sponges. It just wasn't for me. And then the result that I got from actually washing my face with it wasn't that much different from just using my hands or occasionally using like a mild sugar scrub or something to do some gentle physical exfoliation. There just wasn't enough benefits to counteract the fact that I felt like I was just standing to take in some water each day. So they're just not for me. I felt the same way about my Clairsonic. Once I found cleansers that I really liked and was using my hands, I really don't have a need to go back to the Clairsonic. Like I said, I've got other exfoliation products in my routine that I would much rather use and are more sanitary. So yeah, the cognac sponges in general, I don't think they're for me. I've got another one that I got in a Face Story subscription box that I'm going to be trying out here soon, just to kind of get it in my routine, give it a shot, see if it's any different, and then move on. But other than that, I won't be seeking them out intentionally. So yeah, there's that one. Next, let's talk about the Face Shop, the Fresh for Men shaving foam. So there's that there. It is just a really, really basic shaving foam. It's got just kind of like that clean kind of barber shop kind of men's fragrance to it. And I don't have a ton to say about it. I mean, it did a really good job of like foaming up, and I was able, I don't grow long facial hair, I just kind of have stubble, but I try to get rid of it every few days. So it did an okay job of kind of lifting those hairs from the surface of the skin to make a cleaner and easier shave. I didn't notice any irritation from this product, even though, as with some the Face Shop products, it's very, very heavy in the preservatives and fragrance areas, which I mean, I guess is kind of typical for a shaving foam, but Face Shop products in general tend to lean more heavily towards, non-natural ingredients, which is fine. If they work for you, great. But I didn't have any adverse effects using this shaving foam. It lasted for a really long time. I think this one made it into my routine in March. So it's been like, 3-ish, 4-ish months since I started using this product, and I think this is the third can of it that I've gotten through since I started using K-Beauty, and it's the only shaving product I've been using since starting K-Beauty last May. So 3 bottles, in about 13 months is what I ended up averaging, 13 or 14 months. And I just switched to an Innisfree product that I'll be reviewing soon. But yeah, it's very decent. It's $8, which is a little pricey for just a basic shave foam. You can get something non-K-Beauty at your local, pharmacy or Target for like $2.95 or $3.50. So it's a little bit pricey, but I really have been purchasing it just to say I use a K-Beauty or Korean shave foam, but I'm starting to move away back towards some other products. So perfectly decent if you have a face shop locally and you want to check it out. It's a perfectly decent product, and I wouldn't mind recommending it if someone was in the market to try something different. So yeah, there's that. These are all empty, by the way. That's why I'm not doing any swatches. Oh, there's a little bit. Yeah, that's not really helpful, but it foams up really well, and it maintains its foam. Like, I can add a little bit more water, shave a little bit, add a little bit more water, and it doesn't just completely run off. It really does hold its foaminess for quite some time. So there's that. Next one, since it's the outlier here, is the Pure Gen Multi-Collagen Powerlifting Serum. I just finished using this product a few days ago. It's one that I picked up from my Face Story Luxe Plus subscription box. And, there's actually just a teensy bit left. I might be able to pour that out in my hand. But yeah, it's a collagen-based serum that's supposed to provide a lot of lifting and firming to the skin and almost kind of like a contouring effect. Hydrolyzed collagen, or just collagen in general, has been shown to not be super effective in topical products because it doesn't really absorb into the skin. And even if it did, it really doesn't act as the natural collagen in your skin. It doesn't work to like rejuvenate or boost up the natural collagen of the skin. The best it can do, really, from what I've read, is act as a nice humectant. So providing a lot of hydration to the skin, drying hydration to the skin, and that in turn creates that kind of dewy, plump, hydrated look. So it's a lifting ingredient in the sense that it facilitates the hydration, which causes that effect. It isn't a direct contributor, like I'm putting collagen in my skin, therefore the collagen will cause that lifting just as the collagen, because it doesn't quite work that way. This product uses marine collagen, which is said to have a smaller molecular size, so it can absorb into the skin. But once again, once it's there, what is it going to do other than provide some deeper hydration? And this also has hydrolyzed elastin, which is also supposed to help with the elasticity of the skin. I don't know how that works topically. This is just from a few articles and stuff that I've read, so don't quote me on any of this. But having said that, using hydrolyzed collagen, which in itself isn't going to power lift to a certain extent, I did find some pretty decent results with this product. And it might purely be because of that hydration, just kind of creating more of like a plump effect in my cheeks. My jawline just looked a little bit nicer, and everything just feels more firm after I use this product. And it's one that I felt, it's a serum that I felt kind of built off of itself day after day. So there would be a couple days, like there was this one weekend where I was just crazy busy, didn't have a chance to use much of my routine, so I skipped this, and I just noticed that the elasticity of my skin, or everything, just looked a little bit more tired, a little bit more dragged down, and that could totally be a placebo effect. But once I started picking up and using this product twice a day like I had been, things just felt a little bit better. So it might just be an excellent hydrating serum. It might be providing some mild lifting effect, but I honestly really liked it. Only hang up with it is because it's curated through Face Story, and their curations rotate every month. It's not super easy to find online. I kind of like that about Face Story, that they're bringing some brands and some products that aren't super popular and are kind of fairly new to the US market. But I tried attaching some links on a blog post for this product, and you can find it on some certain stores. I'm not familiar with their payment and return policy, so I wasn't comfortable sharing them. But it is, this serum ran anywhere between $57 to like $72 on some of these sites, so it's not cheap. But it's whoops. The other thing I really like about it is I wonder if I can. Oh, there you go. It's super, super thin. You can see it just running off my hand. It's super thin and watery, so it just absorbs incredibly well into the skin. You can even do a couple layers of this if you'd like. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky or build up. It just sinks right in and kind of goes right to work. So no real discernible scent. It's just a very approachable, hydrating or lifting, if that's what you want to call it, serum that I really, really liked. So I doubt that I'll be coming back to it just because I said it's kind of difficult to find outside of the Face Story site, and I don't know if or when they'll be selling this a la carte or individually. I think it was only available on that during that, month for the subscription box. So be on the lookout for it. Pure Gen, there's a whole line of them. I think there's 5 or 6 different serums from Pure Gen that each target different things. So be on the lookout, see if you can find one. But I didn't mind it. I think it's a pretty decent, at least a hydrating, boosting serum, if not providing some mild lifting and firming to at least my cheek and jawline. So there's that. Let's move on. I'm going to quickly breeze through this. This was actually a product that I had in my very first YouTube video review. It's one of the very first skincare or Korean beauty skincare products I incorporated into my routine last year. It's an all-star in my routine. I love using these guys, and I just ran out of my last jar about a week or so ago. So it's one that I'll be coming back to. I've got a few other exfoliating pads. This is the Neogen Bio Peel Gauze Peeling Wine Pads. I've got a few other ones, including the green tea version of these, in my stash waiting to be used. But once those are all gone, depending on how they perform, I'll most likely stop searching for new peeling pads and just kind of lock this one in as permanent in my routine. I'm trying to do that as I work through some of my stash, is identify the true winners in my routine and just kind of lock those in until something comes out that really wows me or intrigues me. But I've kind of gotten off the train of grabbing every single thing that I see just to kind of collect them all, and I'm trying to really hone in on what works best for me. So anyway, I love these pads. They've got some AHA in them, as well as the pad itself has a gauze side, which offers some physical exfoliation. So it's almost like chemical and physical exfoliation all in one relatively gentle pad. I love the smell. It kind of has that kind of grape, kind of that like grape juice scent to it that I love. And they last for a while. I think you get 30 pads, and I use these twice a week. So I get 15 weeks use out of one container. You can pick these up on SoCo Glam. So yeah, there's that. Next up is the Mesa by Glow Recipe Chai Tea Eye Cream. Unfortunately, I forgot all this is in October. Unfortunately, this product has been discontinued. Glow Recipe is moving away from doing any curated brands, and they're focusing on their in-house brand. So I doubt that you'll be seeing this around much longer. It's still on their website until I think the end of this week. I think until Sunday, you can still snag this on sale, and certain Target stores will still have it as well, and most likely on sale. But once it's gone, I think it's gone. But for me, this was one of the first eye creams that I found that really truly worked. It has a lot of brightening and hydrating ingredients as well in the formula, and I love the scent. It's got kind of like that kind of chai tea, a little bit of an herbally scent. And I use this all underneath my eyes, and then on my forehead lines, a little bit on my eyebrow, and then my smile lines here. I don't really have them, but just as a preventative measure. And it just absorbs really well while offering a lot of deeper hydration. It didn't feel sticky or tacky. It didn't feel heavy on my skin. And I felt like I could move right into my moisturizer without having a ton of wait time or anything. It just absorbed really well, pat into the skin super easily. And I really liked it. I used the chai tea exfoliating pads from the same line. I didn't get along with those, but this has a different formulation, obviously, and was just really, really nice for my skin. I did notice that my skin or my eye area looks a little bit more like awake and bright in the morning after using this product. And then that kind of feeling or that result kind of continued throughout the day. So it's fairly long lasting too. The only thing that I would say I wasn't a huge fan of is there's 0.67 fluid ounces in this bottle, but this tube or this bottle itself can hold way more than that. So the actual product kind of only hit to like up here, maybe a little bit higher. So traveling with this was kind of a pain because getting on and off the plane, the changes in air pressure, the changes in temperature kind of created, it kind of like bloated this up a little bit. So when I got back to Denver, I wasn't really paying attention and opened it, and literally like a quarter of my bottle of product just went like all out of it because there was just so much extra air in this container. So I mean, it's fine. It's I think it's like 0.67 ounces, which is pretty average for an eye cream. So they could have just been honest with it and made it a little bit smaller, a little bit more narrow, so you really didn't have that much of an issue. I don't see why we needed such a big tube for like it only being filled like to up here. But regardless, I think it was a perfectly decent hydrating eye cream. I'm kind of bummed that it's going away because it's kind of the first one that I actually liked or really liked. But yeah, it had chai tea. It's got turmeric. It was really decent. So I would suggest, if you're looking for a good deal on a pretty solid, well-formulated, hydrating eye cream that's partnered with Mesa, which is an excellent brand for organic skincare, then hop on the Glow Recipe site in the next like couple days because once it's gone, it's gone. So there's that one. Okay, let's just crank through the rest of these. I'm going to be honest, almost everything that you see left, I don't have a ton of positive things to say. It was kind of weird doing this this Empties review video because I looked at everything and I was like, oh no, there's not any like standout like all stars, blew my mind, absolutely must keep this in my routine. Other than the Neogen pads, those are just a staple. But there wasn't anything that was like, wow, I can't, this was incredible. The majority of it was kind of like, ugh, it's fine. So this is kind of, I don't mean for this to be a downer Empties month, but hopefully next month, which I can guarantee you there are some winners there, will be a little bit more exciting. So moving right along, the same Mojito Grapefruit Water Mist. I picked this up on, was it Yes Style? Yeah, Yes Style, months and months ago. I think I paid like $9 for it. It was on sale, just because I was looking for some fun facial mists to try. And at the time, I really didn't know what type of facial mist formula I prefer or what type of application I prefer. But in the time that I ordered this and it's been sitting in my stash, I've been using other mists that have really impressed me. So like the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist, the Aquel Licorice pH Balancing Essence Mist, even the original one that I used, the Neogen, I think it's H2 Dermadeca Serum Spray, was really good, even though I bought that and used it well before using this one. I have found myself leaning more towards facial mists that have some oil ingredients in them, as well as some like water-based humectants or kind of watery hydration. This product was just all watery hydration. I think it had like grapefruit water in it, a few other ingredients. I think there might have been some sodium hyaluronate and niacinamide. It was actually hard locating the specific ingredients list for this because it's not listed on many sites that I saw, other than like the two featured ingredients, which were like, there's nothing on the back either. I don't even think in Hangul there is ingredients list on this. So regardless, it was an affordable spray that I added to my cart to get free shipping. It smelled fine and it applied okay. It was pretty heavy because this is like that traditional like hairspray mist pump, as opposed to that like fog cap that you get from like a Glow Recipe product. And it just felt really heavy on my face. It felt like I was just spraying myself with water, which was pretty much what I was doing. And the second it absorbed, it didn't really leave any residual effect or benefit. It just was refreshing for the 3 or 4 minutes that it was wet on my face. And then once it was gone, it was gone. I didn't notice any long-term hydration or brightening or soothing or repairing. It was just a refreshing mist, which is fine to a certain extent, especially like on a hot day. But all those other mists that I mentioned, the Glow Recipe, the Neogen, the Aquel, they do a much better job of providing a little bit more in the way of almost like a serum or an essence, as opposed to just being a water mist. So I didn't like this. I had a backup bottle of the Aquell. I went back to that, and then I used this in the shower. So after I got out of the shower, I would just spray this on myself just because it was refreshing. It felt nice. It smelled nice too. It was almost like a little light after shower fragrance. So I was using it like that. I even sprayed it in my hair a couple times. Just honestly, I was just trying to get through it. It's not one that I would recommend. I mean, if you're going to spend the $9 or the $12, I think it's might be up to $12 or $13. The Glow Recipe product and the Aquell product are almost twice as much, $10 or $12 more, but I think they're worth double the cost because you'll be using a lot less, since just a couple sprays will give you way more hydration, way more nourishment, nourishing feel, and way more of like a natural glow than this product would probably in half the bottle. So, this just wasn't my jam. I didn't like it. It smelled fine, but that was really about it. So, yeah. Okay, moving on. Oh gosh, I'll do a couple more dislikes and I'll go to the one I really like and then we'll go back. Okay, so the Tony Moly Pandas Dream Hand Cream. I picked this up on clearance at Ulta for just like a couple bucks. I think I paid like $3 for it. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of hand cream in general. It's just not something that I use very frequently because I apply sunscreen really regularly. Even when I'm working in the office, because there are open windows with the blinds open, I will still apply sunscreen to my arms and my face every few hours, every couple hours, depending on if the sun's like coming right in at me. And then I usually apply it right before I leave the office. And then when I get home, then I'm taking a shower and then applying my lotion, my body lotion to my whole body, hands, arms, everything. So there's rarely a time where I feel like my hands are incredibly dry or cracked. And when they are, it's usually in a pretty intense level, like there's like some cracking going on, or maybe I have like a dry patch here from whatever, having my hands down, what have you, and I'll go for like almost like a healing balm or a salve as opposed to like a hand cream. I find that a lot of times they're all very heavily fragranced and typically leave kind of like a greasy or heavy residue behind that I don't appreciate. And the Panda's Dream product fell right into that category. It has it's a light floral scent. It's not super intense, and it has like a clean scent as well, but it is intense in the sense of like compared to other skincare. Maybe in the hand cream realm it's not that bad, but for me, still a little too much. And it definitely lingered for quite some time. I didn't like smelling that for, half an hour. Whoops. Half an hour after use, and the texture of it was a little bit lighter than some of those thicker like squeeze out of the tube hand creams, but it still left kind of that like buttery kind of greasiness behind that I'm just not a fan of. And I think that's a big draw for people who use hand cream frequently, is that kind of like buttery smooth feeling that kind of lasts. So I just don't think I am the right target audience for a hand cream. Granted, I picked this up on clearance on a whim, but going forward, I think I'm just going to stick to my sunscreen, stick to my body lotions that I use after showering or throughout the day, and just avoid specific hand cream products in general. I don't have any more in my routine to try, or in my stash, I'm sorry, and I don't intend on buying more. So this will probably be the last time you see one popping up on my videos. If you have recommendations for hand creams that you're like, oh no, but you need to try this one for whatever reason, leave a comment below. But this one was just kind of a bummer for me. I ended up finishing the rest of it on my feet and legs before bed, just so I could use more product per application, and I was able to kind of crank through the last bit of it. So that's that for the Panda Dream hand cream. Let me grab the product I just dropped on the ground because that's the one I like. Please hold. Where's the cap? Whatever. Okay, cap's missing, sorry. Okay, so, excuse me. This is the Wamiso Organic Seeds Hair Essence. I actually just finished using this one up yesterday, and I've been using this product for 5 months now. We're coming up on 6 months. I love this. It's rather than being, it's a leave-in conditioner at the end of the day, but it's more of an essence. It's got fermented ingredients in it. It's got hydrating ingredients. It almost reads like a skincare product, which it kind of is. but it's a little bit more oil-based, more emollient and heavier, so I probably wouldn't put it on my face, but it's excellent for providing a lot of deep hydration and some conditioning to the scalp and to the hair. So it's one of the better leave-on conditioners I've used because it really does absorb and sink in really well. Has some more oil-based ingredients, so it's not just kind of watery hydration. It's not packed full of silicones, which are fine for providing that smoothness to the hair, but this does it in a more natural way. And you really only need a teensy little bit. I mean, I have short hair, but you still need a small amount. I would just use 1 or 2 pumps right into damp hair out of the shower, and in the morning, just 1 more pump right before styling, just to kind of give it some softness and some light shine. So it smells incredible. It has this kind of like herbally kind of vanilla scent, but also kind of milky. The actual product itself looks like cream. It's like a white milky fluid. I'm all out, obviously, but I really, really like it. It lasted forever. It's a little bit pricey. I think I got it for like $38 on Amazon, but it lasted for so long because for me at least, I needed such a smaller amount. And there were certain days where my hair felt really, really nourished and fine, so I'd skip using it. But yeah, I really love this product. I have a couple other leave-in conditioners in my routine. I don't know if I gave you a close-up of that. So I'm going to be going to those. They're all Western Band products, just from, drugstore. But once I'm done with those, I would consider coming back to this one as like a leave-in styling product. So I really like it. I would suggest it if you have dry, damaged hair and you're looking for something that isn't super based in like synthetic, organic, natural ingredients list. Check this one out because it's a good alternative to some other kind of more basic leave-in conditioners or light styling products. Okay, so we'll jump right in with the Dr. Jart Focus Spot Dark Spot Micro Tip Patch with vitamin C. These are little patches that have micro needles of hyaluronic acid that's supposed to kind of penetrate the skin slightly and deliver the active ingredients more deeply into the skin. So you peel off the little backing, you pop one of these patches on, you can leave it on for as little as a couple hours all the way through overnight or all day. And then they've got various different things. One's for under the eyes, one's for acne control, dark spots, and then I think there's one more. I forget what that last one is, but I think there's 4 versions. Anyway, moral of the story is these didn't do anything for me. I use them in several different ways, overnight, just a couple hours, without any other skincare other than cleansing. So I just double cleanse, put this on, that was it. Sometimes I put them on over certain steps in my routine, like toner or essence. Sometimes I'd wait till the very end. Maybe that would help drive other ingredients into the skin. But no matter which way I did it, every time I took off these patches, which I was using on my hyperpigmentation on my neck, I have one on my forehead, and then I have one on one of these cheeks. Well, I have spots everywhere, but specific things I was trying to address. Zero change whatsoever in those spots over time. And then even though there are those micro needles, you actually do feel a little bit of like a ooch, like a little prick, but it's so instantaneous and it's immediately gone. It makes me feel like the second that hyaluronic acid tip hits your skin, it just dissolves and there's not really any actual like penetration into the skin. It just seems a little gimmicky. I picked it up because it sounded gimmicky, but I wanted to try it. I've been hearing about these micro needles in various forms in skincare, and this just didn't do anything for me. I used 3 of them on one particular patch consistently over 3 days. No change whatsoever. In fact, on my neck, it was really difficult because I'd wake up and the patch had like slid. Like it would be like on my chest or like stuck to my hair up here. They just don't adhere as well as like an acne spot patch or something like that. And yeah, it just seemed like kind of a waste. And I think these were like 20. Oh, I don't want to say 20. I think they were $18 for 6. So, or $16 for 6, maybe even more. I picked them up at Sephora, but they were very pricey for what they did, which wasn't anything. And I would much rather just get a niacinamide-based product or a vitamin C-based product or something that, like an actual like bottle or tube of something, or even like an AHA or BHA that's shown to lighten the hyperpigmentation. It'll take longer, I mean, these claim that you just pop them on, take them off, and you should notice a difference. It'll take longer, and you need to be more consistent with your acids and those other products. But I think they're shown to have the benefit. And then the other thing I noticed is I was looking at the ingredients list for all 4 versions of these, and they all look very, very similar. The main difference is just kind of the shape and the packaging. So I don't know. It just seems a little too gimmicky for me. I wouldn't repurchase these again or recommend them. So yeah. All right, last 2. The Noonie Snowflake Jelly Cleansing Oil. This is a product I picked up on sale from Ulta. I picked it up because I actually did need a new oil cleanser at the time, and it was a good deal. Right out the gate, I can say I love the packaging for this, only because it's got this really cool little flip top, so you can get in there and get the product out, as opposed to having to full on unscrew it, set this aside, and do it. It just makes it so much easier. You think that wouldn't be that big of like a game changer for a skincare product, but just this packaging and the way that it was done is very smart, and I love that you don't have to have that extra piece setting aside. It actually speeds up the whole process, so love that. Outside of that, this jelly cleanser is exactly that. Rather than being like a balm or like a pump oil, it looks very much like petroleum jelly, a little bit thinner. It's kind of like, it has like this crystal clear kind of look to it. And then once you get it on your skin, it kind of warms up and breaks down like an oil cleanser, but there was just something very, very industrial, kind of petroleum jelly feeling about it, and kind of, I guess like industrial is the best word. Like I scooped it out of like a giant vat of just like industrial whatever petroleum jelly. It didn't have a very comfortable feel on the skin. It felt really almost slimy, I guess is the best word I could use to describe it. It didn't sit like an oil at all. Like right now I'm using this oil that I absolutely love because it's very thin, but it just soaks up a lot of oil. It just feels very comfortable and very natural on the face. And this is kind of the opposite of that. It just feels very unnatural. Like it's not really picking up much, which it does. It actually did a good job of cleansing my skin of excess oils, any sunscreen, that type of thing, and it emulsifies well. But just the experience of use was just kind of gross to me. That's the best way I can describe it. And I wasn't a fan of how it felt at all. So I used it, and I ended up finishing it up by just really applying a lot. And that's the other thing I found. I felt like I needed to use quite a bit just to feel a little bit more comfortable having it on my face. So I burned through this pretty quickly. Definitely not something I would come back to. I haven't been that big of a fan of Noonie skincare products in general. I do love their Marshmallow Whip Maker, which is it's like the little canister with the pump that you can use to foam up your cleansers. That thing's great, but I've used this, and I just finished up a review for a facial mist from Noonie, and it's just, I don't know, they're just missing the mark for me. This product was just uncomfortable. It smelled fine. It had kind of like a fruity scent to it, not too bad. But yeah, it just wasn't what I was looking for from an oil-based cleanser as far as the texture and the experience. So that one's gone, not coming back. And then, last but not least, I feel like I'm talking so much trash about all these products. Okay, so this is the Kulik Classic Sunscreen. I got the one with white tea, and this is an SPF 50 broad spectrum. They've got some organic ingredients in it. It has a pretty strong fragrance. I should have known that because it says white tea on it, but I didn't realize how intensely, I guess, florally it would be. And I got a lot of warnings. I posted a pic of this on Instagram. I was like, oh, new sunscreen. Can't wait to try that out. And so many people were like, oh, you better watch out. That stuff is greasy. It's going to leave you shiny. Be careful, proceed with caution. And I was like, I'm always the type of person when I see those reviews, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the one to like buck the trend and be the one that loves this product. Because I love my glow. I love my shine. And so I was like, no. This stuff it left this like greasy, shiny, incredibly uncomfortable layer of product on my skin no matter how long I massaged it in, no matter how long I let it set before I headed out the door. It was just, ugh, it was rough. And even like on areas that are more dry, like my neck, where I typically don't get that dewy glow, even though I put my products down here. Even though I worked the sunscreen down my neck would be like, and I could see it like even on my collars, like it was just like transferring and leaving like kind of like an oil ring, and it was just gross. I keep using that word, but that's the best description I can come up with for this product. What the first initial application of it, it feels almost kind of watery, and that kind of white tea kind of floral fragrance is like, oh, this is nice and light. But the second that whatever ingredients absorb, they leave behind this film or this layer of just kind of oiliness. I was using this product when I was wearing a BB cushion, so I put this on and I'm like, oh, well, it's almost like giving me that dewy, oily glow underneath. I'll put that BB cushion on, that'll be a great base for it. And a few hours, I'd look in the mirror and it was just like, it almost looked patchy, like the BB cushion was just kind of like getting absorbed or broken up and just kind of falling off. And I've heard people say like, this primer or this sunscreen ate my makeup, and I never really knew what that meant until I used this, because I'd be like, where did it go? Like, is it down on my knees somewhere at this point? Like, it just felt like everything would just run off. And then on hot days, it just made everything worse. It was just very uncomfortable. So I've used so many K-Beauty sunscreens and even a couple Western sunscreens that have a much better feel and result and just like a finish to them, that I don't see the need for coming back to this. And I think it was like $32 or $36 through Ulta. So it wasn't the cheapest sunscreen I've ever purchased either. So kind of a bummer. I'm always on the hunt for a proper sunscreen. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But for now, I'm going to probably avoid the Kula line of products just in general, because this one just kind of bummed me out after using it. So like I said, it was too greasy. I ended up the last week and a half of my review, I was just finishing it up on my arms just to get rid of it. And even on my arms, I was like, ugh, like it was just too much. So yeah, there's that. All right, so that's my empties for June 2019. Let me know if you have any questions or need any additional information about these products. Look for these reviews to come at you once a month. Hopefully I'll have some products, and I know I do, coming up in this July review video, that are going to be winners. I'm kind of coming up towards the end of some reviews for some products and products that I've already reviewed but haven't finished, that I absolutely love and can't wait to share with you guys. So be on the lookout. Otherwise, I'll still be doing sheet mask reviews. I'll still be doing featured reviews on like battle of the whatever, comparison reviews. And then there's a couple products that I think are stand out so well that I really like to take some time to go over just a single product with you guys, and maybe even then go and do a demo in the bathroom just to show you guys how it applies and the results that I'm seeing. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support, the comments, the suggestions are so greatly appreciated. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at AJKBeauty. I have a blog, ajkbeauty.wordpress.com, but you're going to find basically summarized versions of everything you see on the blog here through these types of reviews. So thank you again, and as always, stay glowing. Bye.